Well, so my name is Ashish Masih and you're watching me on Autoportal.com. If you come to this channel for the first time, then please like, share and subscribe. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the Alto K10. Now, the reason why we're going to talk about this video, talk about some positives and maybe some negatives, is to give you a brief idea whether you should consider buying this car. And the previous generation of this car, the earlier K10, was a big hit with enthusiast drivers because they really preferred driving it. It had a peppy engine, and this one also does have it. What are the big highlights of the car? Well, I think from the front end, it looks very different from the current Alto 800, and even the last generation of the K10 looks very different from that car. So I think one of the big highlights is its styling, especially from the front. The back end is a little boring, but the front end, definitely with this honeycomb grille and these sharp lamps, really looks the part. So I think the Alto K10, one of the biggest reasons, the big plus points is its distinctive styling and the distinctive looks that this car has to offer from the front. And let's talk about some other plus points about this car on the interiors now. I'm sure by now all of you are aware that Woodmore are the online expert when it comes to spare parts, and the best point is that they have the spare parts for all vehicles available in India. So even if your car is out of production now, maybe you have a large generation model, even then they have the spare part available, they have the entire catalog, and the best point is that they have the same spare part from a host of different component makers, which gives you great flexibility in the pricing overall. So check them out today, check out the app, it's available both for iOS as well as Android devices, and also check out the website for the latest schemes as well as offers. So now I'm inside the cabin of the Alto K10, and a lot of other YouTubers might tell you, well, it could have been better, the features are not there and stuff like that, but I think with the price for about 5.5 lakh rupees, which this version sells for, the VXI Plus, I think the interiors are quite okay and quite good actually. The reason for that is that the plastic quality is quite decent. Seat comfort, which is very essential in cars like this, is also pretty good, and even though seat padding and cushioning isn't the best, it is still generous. And as I said, the quality is better than its main rival, the Kwid, because the Kwid really has a lot of cheap plastic, but this one looks quite nice, and also the buttons over here are quite good. Practicality wise also, it's a good place to be. You of course get a couple of beverage holders here, big tray over here, big dobbins where you can house those big 1 liter bottles, and the highlight of course of the package is this, the infotainment system. Maruti calls it the Smart Studio, and it has a decent voice. The sound quality is quite decent because this has 4 speakers, but it's quite easy to operate, and it's also quite fast. You know, it's not got any kind of slowness in terms of the touch. You can also put in your Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto onto this, so that's something which a lot of customers will really appreciate, especially considering this car sells for about 5.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom. So all these things considered, I think the cabin is very good. It's also practical. Now don't get me wrong, people will say, why don't we get powered mirror assistance for adjusting the rear view mirrors? But it's a narrow car, so you can easily do it like yourself from here, and even for this one you can just stretch out and adjust the mirror on that side. So really, as I said, it's a very practical place, comfortable place, good quality interiors, and nice place to be in. Overall you get decent features. Yes, of course everybody would have wanted rear parking camera, etc., but even without that it's quite okay and quite acceptable. So that's big reason number 2 why you should consider buying this car and why I like the interiors of this car as well. Now for reason number 3, let's see the back seat. If you're someone who's about 5'10" or 5'11" like me, and you always sit in the back seat, you will not have too many reasons to complain in the back seat of the Alto K10. But of course you need to have only 1 occupant with you. If you have 3 occupants at the back, it becomes a little too cozy. So 2 at the back is the best. Knee room has no reasons to complain, and the front seat has been raised so you can easily stretch your feet. Headroom also is more than sufficient and quite generous, and the windows are also nice and large. What's also good is that the opening, the aperture is quite good, so you can easily get in and get out of this car. You don't have to crawl and get inside in an uncomfortable manner, and it's also quite a high set car compared to the Alto 800. So again, getting in and out is a really breezy affair. The only bit of downside is that the head restraint at the back is fixed. Both the head restraints are fixed, so Maruti should have given you adjustable head restraints, because you know it becomes a little more safe in that department. But other than that, no big reason to complain. You also get a bottle holder over here, and remember, everything has to be kept in perspective. The pricing of this car starts from about 4 lakh rupees, so it's a base version. You don't get air conditioning on that car, but then of course from LXI, VXI onwards you get all the basics like air conditioning, and of course this one gets the touchscreen as well. So you have to keep all these considerations in mind. The pricing also has to be considered before you make any list of pros as well as cons. So these were 3 big pros. Now for the other pros and some of the cons, let me jump into the front seat, drive this car around, and then share them with you. Well, and the next reason why you should consider buying this car is because of the excellent 1-liter petrol motor. Yes, if you are someone who calls himself an enthusiast, but you're on a tight budget, you're not someone who wants to spend a lot of money, then you will enjoy the driving experience overall of this car. And the reason for that is very simple. The reason for that, of course, is the fact that you get a car which is a very light car. So the curb weight of this car is very light, and that means that even with only 66 bhp, this car feels very good. It feels very nice and very peppy, and it feels like you're driving a performance hatchback rather than a regular small hatchback. So these are areas where the Alto K10 excels, and even the last generation of the car, even the last version of the car, was truly excellent in that department, and even this one is quite good. So that's something which you will truly enjoy. If you are someone who likes manual gearboxes, you'll enjoy it because the manual is very light to use, and in the automatic will be quite enjoyable to operate on a daily basis. And the next reason why I should consider buying this car is that it's a very light car, but apart from being light, the controls are also light and the visibility is excellent. Yes, you can easily just do this and see how far the bonnet is. You can easily see the edges of the car from the rear view mirrors, and even this one is quite good. And the steering wheel is so nice and light, it just feels brilliant to use. It's a very light steering wheel, which makes it very good for using daily in the city. If you want a hassle-free car, if you want a car which doesn't offer you any kind of tension, any kind of stress, then this is definitely the car to go for. And that's really another big reason, because a lot of people are so stressed out in life driving in the car in the city that they don't want a car which offers you tension. And for them, this kind of car is absolutely perfect and just spot on with the overall driving bits. It's a very nice car, light controls, easygoing nature, hassle-free with the AMT. So that's another reason why you should consider buying it. Now I've given you so many positives, so many good reasons why I should buy it. Some of you will say, well, it's looking like I'm talking like a Maruti salesman. So let me tell you a few reasons which are negative also, and maybe you should not buy it. One big reason why you should avoid it, or maybe get something else, is because of the pricing. Now the 3.99 lakh ex-showroom price is only for the base version, which doesn't have air conditioning, and it doesn't even have power steering. Power steering was okay because it's a light car, but air conditioning is something that this car should have had. So that is missing on the base version. Secondly, the top of the line version, or the current version I'm driving, VXI Plus AMT, this one costs you 5,83,000 ex-showroom, which means when it comes to Delhi pricing, it will easily exceed 6.5 lakh rupees or go close to 6.5 lakh rupees, which really makes it very expensive indeed. It's a very expensive car for the size that it offers, And the last negative, okay, I'm doing a bit of nitpicking right now, is of course the fact that power window buttons are placed here, and first of all, you only get 2 power windows. There are no power windows for the back. That's something that should have been offered, especially considering 5.83 lakhs for the top of the line VXI Plus version. That's something that they should have thought about and added, but they missed out on that, and that is a big no-no in my book. Also, at the back, you don't get any kind of bottle holder. The door bins, only one bottle holder over here in the middle, and the headrests also at the back are fixed. They should have been adjustable headrests. That's something which is also missing on this car. So those are a few negatives along with the positives that I thought that I should talk about. But of course, let's end this video on a positive note and talk about one more positive. And that big positive is the fact that this car is a Maruti Suzuki product, which means peace of mind factor, which means that when it comes to resale, you can go to True Value and get your car exchanged and get a good price for it. And Maruti cars usually have better pricing than compared to rivals when it comes to resale. So that is also a big peace of mind factor. And of course, spare part price will be quite affordable. It will be relatively affordable as well. And these are things which make a big difference in the long-term ownership experience. Yes, if you are someone who's planning to keep his car for at least 5 or 6 years, then the long-term ownership experience, these things will definitely make a difference to your buying decision and your ownership experience. And do keep these things in mind. So that's it, guys, for this video. That was my pros, my cons, my likes, my dislikes, my positive and negative video for the Maruti Suzuki Alto K10, which has just been launched. What do you think? Have I given you all the right things? Have I missed out on something? You can let me know in the comment section below. And if you have seen this video till the end, then please give us a like. Also, please share this video with all your friends. And also, please subscribe to his channel if you haven't done so already. Thanks guys so much for watching. Always remember to belt up before you drive, and always check the passenger in the back if they've belted up or not. And see you guys soon in another video. Do subscribe to his channel. It's my small request. We'll catch you in the next one very soon.